recommend America's Taco Shop. It has great food. A little bit about my experience in finding America's Taco Shop. I did a lot of marketing prior to this 4 or 5 years ago, and in the marketing, we actually did marketing for Hollywood as well, and we had a couple of Hollywood models that were in from California and visiting us. We wanted to give them a local experience, and so we were in downtown Phoenix and driving around in the Hummer, which is not easy to take U-turns in, but we were kind of U-turning looking for an authentic-looking Mexican restaurant to take them to, and we came across your restaurant there on 7th Street. Yeah, it was 7th Street.
You got it, 7th Street.
And we stopped in, and they were amazed at how good the food was. I was amazed at how good the food was, and you're a little bit nervous. When you do something like that, you take a risk. You don't know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
We didn't. Yelp wasn't even off the ground yet at that point, and so we couldn't Yelp it and find out if there were 24 bad reviews and one good one, or the other way around.
Yeah.
We just dropped in, and the food was great, and so that always became our little haunt when they would come into town, that we would go and hang out there, and so we always had really good memories. So there's a lot of these little holes in the wall that I call, and at the time it probably was a little bit of a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
But here, a lot of our listeners are business owners, and so in particular restaurant owners. So if you are a restaurant owner out there, there is hope that you might be able to get found as this story unravels today, and we're going to be talking in the second segment about how the Kahala group found America's Taco Shop and how that all came about. So if you create a really good quality product, a place where local people like to hang and it's good food, you don't always have to be the one that replicates yourself. You can actually reach out and have a franchising group do that. However, you want to if you think that you're going to do the franchising yourself, think again. Don't license it. Don't go out. There are a lot of people don't realize that in franchising there's a lot. It's as heavily regulated as securities. And so you wouldn't think any more about creating your own Magellan fund than you would creating your own franchise. So make sure you team up with a good name brand franchising group that makes sure that they dot their I's and cross their T's, because what you don't want to do is destroy everything you've done, and by the time you open 3 or 4 or 5 locations franchising, and come and get yourself shut down. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. But now you expanded from there. So even before you started franchising, you kind of had corporate-owned multiple locations. Tell us a little bit about how that worked.
So I think it was probably about 6 months into opening up our original location that I've been going home and telling America. First off, I haven't heard a complaint in 6 months. And I was coming from a world of dealing with table calls and dealing with complaints and guest issues, and I would tell America, I said, I don't know if they just don't want to tell us, if they have an issue, but it was, I was wowed by it, the fact that no one was complaining, and I guess that's a good thing still to this day, and we go for those non-complaints. And then it was about 6 months in, I told her, I said, I think I can do this again. I had met a gentleman with his family eating breakfast, and he was a broker, and he reached out to me and let me know about the location which ended up being our second location at 7th Avenue in Campbell in the Melrose District. I went over there, saw the location, another old house, and I said, this is for us. I can make this in America's. I had heard all of these stories about the location being non-conforming, parking, just, really hard location to work with as a restaurateur. But I felt it was right for America's, and the house feel. We have 3 of our 4 locations are in old homes, and it became part of who we were. That the experience that people were coming into our restaurants. That they're not getting just a meal and then taking off. They're getting an experience when they come through the door, and
that's what we felt. We felt like we were hanging out.
Yeah,
at a friend's house.
Part of our training is exactly that. We tell our employees to treat our guests as if they're friends of ours coming over to our house to have breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and how would you treat those people in that setting at a home? And we continue to strive, and I don't think we're ever satisfied where we're at. In regards to quality of service, quality of food, we're always striving to be better tomorrow than we were today, and I think that's a philosophy that's been good so far.
Obviously, it definitely has. And now you also opened up a branch of America's Soccer Shop by the University, Arizona State, which turned out to be, I remember I actually saw you, talked to you while you were in there swinging a hammer.
I remember you coming in there.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's, I have a lot of fun getting into the restaurants and, you know, putting my mark on the restaurants. And I don't think anybody's mistaken when they walk through the door to know that the guy that's selling the tacos might have been the guy that painted the walls,
Yeah.
did some tables, did some of the construction work in there, and it, you know, it's part of that feel for us with our locations. And you know, the Tempe location, again, the same broker, James, gave me a call, and he told me about that, and I said, let's do it. I found out the corner, and I was like, all right, let's get the deal done, and it's been a wonderful location as well. And now we, you know, we're at 6 locations in the valley.
That's amazing. Do you guys do much with the social media right now? Do you do Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, that kind of thing?
You know, I started out, you know, when I was introduced to Facebook, I didn't know what it was. I had not heard of it. A friend told me about it, and at the time, she had set up an account for me because I didn't know what I was doing with it.
Mm-hmm.
And we built, you know, I think we're up to over 3,000 friends on our Facebook page, but it's not set up as a fan page. You know, I'm not too good with that
profile.
type.
Okay.
We do, you know, I get on there and I put information. I think it's a work in progress for us to reach out, and I know the benefits of social media. I think we're continuing to move in that direction, you know, with Twitter, with Facebook, and different ways of going out and letting everybody know what we're doing at America's Soccer Shop.
Especially being right by ASU. When we come back from break, we're going to talk a little bit about how the social media with young people is pretty much taken over. It's like, this is going to date me, but I actually was looking at an antique piano yesterday, and somebody had a Victrola, and they pulled out the 78 record. I actually remember 78 record. Yeah, that's
Okay.
me. Yeah. So anyway, when we come back from break, we're going to talk about something a little more modern than 78 records. We're going to be talking about the social media and how the social media can help you get found both locally and also by the business owners for catering, etc. So don't go away. We will tune back in with our guest Terry from America's Soccer Shop and Dana Mead from the franchise group, the Kahala group, and we'll be right back after the break. This is Kurt Wilhelm of the Social Universe.